Fearlessness and joy. My name is Bob Caron, and I've been a member of First Church for less than a year. My attendance this past year in coming to First Church likely exceeds my lifetime attendance at any church of any kind. Instead, my spiritual path has been spent on a martial arts mat and on a meditation cushion. I found that path when I was 17, and I'm eternally grateful for how it has shaped my life. Fear is perhaps the central tool of martial arts and Zen training. We work with it constantly. We talk about it, and we often talk about the word fearlessness. The word fearlessness, however, is somewhat misleading. To be without fear would be inhuman. We collectively experience fear as something that we don't like, something that holds us back, something that we push away and we do our best to avoid. But fear is not all bad. In fact, fear is quite helpful in small doses. From an evolutionary perspective, it was essential for survival. Even today, it might warn you of danger and ensure you to take some important precautions, like going to the doctor. Fear is your internal alarm system, and it enables some pretty useful states of consciousness, like clarity and focus and intensity. Like all forces that emerge from your intuition, I would encourage you to listen to your fear, get to know it, take ownership over it, and use it for what it's good for. The more you push something away, the larger it becomes. The challenges come when fear takes ownership of us rather than us taking ownership of it. When we are driven by fear, it changes us. It dominates our thinking. It clouds rather than clarifies. It freezes instead of focuses. And instead of intensity, it can drive us to insanity. We become neurotic about avoiding our fears, creating isolation and immobility in our lives. What I've learned about fear through more than a couple decades of practice and teaching in martial arts and Zen is that fear is grounded in the body. It may arise from a place of intuition, but it gets stuck in our bodies and we hold it there. You can feel it in your body in the form of muscle tension, shortness of breath, a rapid heartbeat, high blood pressure, and so forth. What is stress but the chronic presence of fear in our bodies? Letting go of fear for me begins not with a mental exercise, but a physical transformation. Instead of praying with me, would you practice with me? Would you please sit on the edge of your pews and straighten your back? Relax your hands on your lap and let your bellies go large. Truly, that's the key. Take a few deep breaths, allowing your breath to reach all the way down to your lower abdomen. As you keep breathing, find some tension in your body. Perhaps it's in your face or in your neck, your shoulders, or your chest. Maybe it's in your belly. Let it drop down into your legs. And if there's some tension in your butt or your legs, let that drop into the floor. Feel the force of gravity pulling you into your seat and into the earth. Now, as you breathe, think of something that you're holding on to, something that you're uncomfortable with. Maybe it's a conversation you need to have, or something you're afraid to lose. Feel it in your body. Does it feel like tension? As you think of that fear, identify where in your body it exists. With a deep breath and on the exhale, let it go. As it keeps coming back up, breathe and let it go again and again with each exhale. Clearing the path of fear to rise and dissipate from your body like the warm steam of your favorite winter drink. Now relax. I don't know that we can be without fear and still be human. But when we get really good at letting fear flow and letting it go, we uncover a force much more powerful and useful, something that feels more like home, more like who we really are. And that force is joy. For me and in my practice, joy has always been on the flip side of fear. When fear flowed out, the joy was unleashed. In some of my most severe training, I've emerged with tears of joy. In fact, crying is how I measure whether the training was really profound or not. The tears represent a release, a real letting go, a swell of power, compassion, and joy. And what follows is so strong, so right, so aligned with the universe, with God, that it is unmistakably the essence of our being. When we are fearful, we are preoccupied with ourselves. When we are joyful, we take care of those around us. When fear is stuck in our bodies, we are unable to move, change, and be free. When we are joy, anything is possible. If our mission on earth is to become who we truly are, then we must become skillful in letting our fear arise and flow out, and allow the swell of joy to engulf us and then unleash it into the world.